Good evening and konnichiwa to our friend in Setsuna University. So today, we from I am Pago, Malaysia, will tell you a bit about one of natural disaster that happened recently in Malaysia. And the disaster is the 2025 Malaysian flood disaster. Okay, to introduce you a bit about Malaysia, Malaysia is located in the Southeast Asia and it is divided into two parts. The Peninsula Malaysia, which is the main Malaysia, and East Malaysia, on the island of Borneo, which has the state of Sabah and Sarawak. In Malaysia, there are two monsoon seasons, which are southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. During southwest monsoon, which happen during May and September, it usually bring dry weather, which make Malaysia a little hot than usual. While during northeast monsoon, which happen during November until March, this monsoon brings heavy and continuous rainfall, especially to the east coast states like Kelantan, Terengganu, and Pahang. So about flooding in Malaysia, these floods are annual events and but vary in severity each year, which means it's happen every year. We are anticipating flood happen, but the severity will vary. Sometimes it's really bad, which causes fatality, but sometimes it's just a normal flood and it can be handled minimally. But in 2035, an unusually heavy rainfall and tropical storm activities resulted in particularly severe flooding across several states. And the states that are affected majorly by the 2025 floods in Malaysia were Kelantan, Perak, Kedah, Perlis, Penang, Terengganu, Selangor, and Pahang. So, what caused these floods and what are the effects? I will let Daniel to tell us. Daniel?
Okay, thank you, Brother Aziz, for the presentation. Now we move on to the causes and effects of flooding. Today, I will explain the causes and effects of flooding, which is a serious issue affecting many communities. First, one of the main causes is heavy monsoon rains and storms. When rainfall is continuous and intense, rivers and drainage systems cannot cope, leading to widespread flooding. As a result, thousands of residents are forced to evacuate and are displaced from their homes. Next, rapid urban development combined with poor drainage systems worsens flooding. Cities with insufficient planning are unable to channel excess water efficiently. This situation has led to loss of life in some areas, especially in low-lying and densely populated regions. Another cause is river overflow and high tides, particularly in coastal and riverside areas. When rivers exceed their capacity, floodwaters spread quickly, causing damage to homes, roads, and critical infrastructure. Finally, deforestation and reduced natural water absorption increase surface runoff. Without trees to absorb rainwater, floods become more severe, resulting in disrupted daily life, including the closure of schools and businesses. That's all from me. Moving on to Brother Shah.
Okay, thank you to Brother Daniel. I am Muhammad Shiham and I will be explaining about the initiative that has been taken specifically in government affairs. So firstly, the Malaysia government has established the Permanent Relief Center where there are currently 15 of it that have been built around Malaysia. These centers provide a wider range of support and accommodation to the floods victims. It also acts to reduce reliance of temporary shelters that still prone to be affected by the disaster and the limited availability. And secondly, the government also introduced the state flood mitigation funds, whereas for the example, Perak has been collected around 160 million for flood mitigation and river conservation. Next, Selangor also collected around 54 million for the river basin on the flood prone areas. Next, The government also focus on the infrastructures upgrade, where they focus on deepening the retention ponds, building embankment, and improving the drainage system around Malaysia. Lastly, the government also encourage the early preparedness and monitoring, whereas the meteorologist department in Malaysia will map out the hotspot for the flood disaster, and they're also dispatching a disaster team to support the public, like and to conduct early evacuation, like the Operation Murni. And I'll pass on the next presenter.
All right. Thank you, Brother Shiham. Hello and konnichiwa, Japanese students. My name is Khalif, and now I will tell you about organizations and NGOs and the individual or community actions they have taken to combat this disaster. So, organizations and NGOs. NGOs are basically are short forms for non-governmental organizations. They are basically the same as organizations, but they are not funded by the government. So what do? They provide relief and aid distribution. They give evacuation support to the victims of floods. They give temporary shelters, give food and emergency supplies, and also provide health services for the victims. Moving on to the individual or community actions. The community are basically being made to prepare for these disasters because this is such a not a common, but it is an uncommon thing to happen in Malaysia. So they follow flood warnings. They secure the documents, official documents, so that after the disaster they can try to live a normal life again. They prepare emergency kits and also assist their neighbors who are facing the same problems as them. Now, for the volunteers, they give out support. They usually they would help with evacuation. They also provide relief distribution and also clean up after the whole flooding situation goes down. And so we have reached the final chapter of our presentation. We would like to thank you for listening, for taking your time to listen to us, and hopefully you learn something from us. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. And Jane.